Thank you so much to everyone who made this possible today. So the first poem that I'm going to read, and touching upon many of the themes discussed in talking about colonialism, is talking about some of the lingering effects of colonialism and the way that sometimes within multi-generational Chicano families, we develop an internalized racism, an internalized colonialism. So very often what happens is you have Chicano families who will refer to themselves not as Mexicans, not as Chicanos or Chicanx people, but as Spaniards, choosing to ignore their indigenous ancestry. So this poem is a satire of those kinds of people, and it's called Poor, Poor Spaniard. As Mexicans cross the border and Mexicans hop the fence, as Mexicans line up at Home Depot and the news announces yet another Mexican arrest, you tell the world, chest out and proud, my family may have come from Mexico, but we are Spaniards. Poor, poor Spaniard. You wear your arrogance like steel-plated armor. Drink from glasses with edges sharper than the ends of conquistador helmets. I pray as you sip, you do not cut your lips. You sit in air-conditioned living rooms. Imagine them as open-aired verandas. You like to show off how light your skin is. Blue and green eyes, you say, run in the family. The splash of color of dresses in a twirl, dancing only for the right occasion, and certainly not enough to sweat. Otherwise, they might think you were getting out of hand. They might think you were, gasp, a Mexican. Poor, poor Spaniard. How dare you fling words like wetback and illegal? How dare you fill the word Mexican with spite? The ancestors you claim committed genocide. Poor, poor Spaniard, you weep for your lost land. Hold on to your claims. This charade has gone on long enough. Old and tired pieces of paper, there is as much to them as Don Quixote's daydreams, and the truth is a windmill sweeping down to knock you off your high horse. True, we Mexicans are not all descendants of Aztec princes and princesses, more of our ancestors buried beneath stone blocks than atop. But yes, the blood, it flows through veins. Eyes cannot be stopped from wandering. Indio, Maya, Yaqui, Mulatto, Aztec, Mexica, you see your own people and say, they should go back to Mexico. Poor, poor Spaniard. If you love Spain so much, why don't you go back there? And what will you find there? Your sangre pura, but nearly 800 years of African and Arabic influence, language, architecture, science, Moorish lute made Spanish guitar, rhythmic dances, and your beloved Spanish rice. From Egypt, Iraq, and Iran. Poor, poor American. Something imaginary is your only claim. Your allegiances shift with the flag of the day. The melting pot for you is good. If you make sure you have erased the ingredients, you stay on your side of the fence. Now you answer. Did you come from Mexico? Did you come from Spain? Did you come from some white Eden in the Middle East or North Africa? Where did you come from to keep your blood so pure and your nose so high? Where did you come from to dare fill the word Mexican with spite? Show me on the map, yes, that's right. Nowhere. You poor, poor nothing. Thank you. So this next poem also deals with border issues, and this is an epistolary poem. So it's a poem in the form of letters. And this poem was actually wildly inspired / ripped off by a poem by Matt Cedillo, a forgotten gem. Just ask him sometime to send to you this poem that he wrote about this series of letters between this revolutionary and Latin American country and a New York socialite. And it is just the most beautiful, poignant, oh my god, oh wow, what passion. Marquez mixed with someone else, just phenomenal. I forget who I was thinking it was, but yeah, so this poem is about the U.S.-Mexico border and drawing a parallel between the struggles there and the colonial situation in Palestine. It's called Letters Across Borders. Dear U.S., I've noticed you've been putting up a lot of walls lately. We used to be close, partners. Dear Israel, I've noticed you've been putting up a lot of walls lately. We used to be close, my child. Dear U.S., we were born in fire and blood, screaming for independence from oppressive progenitors in a new world. I was 300 years in the belly of the beast. You, nearly 200. But our fates, like my liberation from Maximilian and the decision of your civil war, are connected. Dear Israel, I am very, very old, but I can still remember how you twice roamed my deserts, first as long and lonely infant. Your birth name meant those who pass over, nomads, wanderers. I did not raise you easy, kept you moving. Like my other children, I raised you to be a survivor. Dear U.S., all of these battles, these horses and cannons, the bloody war between us are merely the imprints of tiny feet, leaving scars upon our bodies. Dear Israel, you returned from Egypt, confident yet desperate, eager to drink from my wells. I gave you the open desert. You wanted to build walls, but the Romans still knew you as my child. Dear U.S., our relationship is timeless. For millennia, we have been connected. We have danced our dance in an inseparable embrace upon continental plates, shifting the oceans, but not us. We are one. Dear Israel, you fled to Europe, came back in sadness. I offered you my wells, greeted you with open deserts. You had returned to build walls. Dear U.S., we now carry two names. We carry these fences, these walls, this border. Dear Israel, you wage war with your brothers, push forward your borders. You deny my name, my child, my poor lost Hebrew, my poor lost Israel. You have a home now, built atop corpses and conquest, a home of checkpoints and fences built atop the womb from which I gave birth to you. Dear U.S., it's like you're trying to forget all that we've meant to each other. I know now that you created NAFTA to take and take without giving anything back in return. Dear Israel, you remain as lost as you ever have been. Your heart is still afraid. It is wandering. I fear for us. I fear for you. Dear U.S., you put up these walls. You build up your walls. My ear is pressed against your chest. I wonder when I will once again feel your heart's beat. Dear U.S. and Israel, we do not ask you to leave each other, only that you please return to us. Sincerely, Mexico and Palestine.